Next
Thank you,
individual
sir.
Thank you.
is Ken. I can't make out your last name. I'm assuming it's a Rhode Island address, if you could just state it. Subject matter is Rhode Island concern. Rhode Island concern, thank you. Motion to waive the rules.
So made.
Motion was made by Council Mitchell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Council Camaro. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted. Ken, if you could just state your last name for the record and your address.
Yes, my name is Ken Putnam Jr., and I'm on Wallum Lake Road in Burrillville, Rhode Island. I would really like to give you some common sense facts. That's really true, and it's so important. You people can say no here to anybody that comes into this town. Our town lost our rights. We're the only state, the only town in Rhode Island that cannot tell anybody that we don't want them in there, because in 1986, they wanted to build a power plant right there where they want to build this one. And our DEM people and Burrillville town councils said absolutely not. That's 5,000 acres of preserved land. If you count in Massachusetts and Connecticut, we're talking about 7,000 acres of preserved land. Well, what do you think happened? This woman in the State House in 1988 created this board that we've got now and took our rights away, so we cannot say no to them. And that's why this has been going on for 2 years. I'd like to give you a little more in common sense. You've heard of Wallum Lake. That's Massachusetts. All your people go up there to use that pond. We have the hospital, Wallum Lake Hospital, which used to be, when I was a youngster, I'm 77. When that was a TB hospital. And the reason for that is, it's the highest land in Rhode Island. Cleanest air and cleanest water. This is less than 2 miles away. It's 3/4 of a mile away from me. I've been a builder for over 50 years. I could not build a house in that area because it's wetlands. And they're gonna build this plant right there where we're talking about. This wetlands travels downhill. You know, water goes downhill, never goes up. It comes downhill. It goes into Egg Box's Pond, and it goes into another brook that comes right down through my property. And then it goes into Wilson's Pond. We have over 20 reservoirs in that area. This pollution that they're going to do is going to travel 31 miles by their record, not ours. That's what they're telling us, 31 miles. We have the Scituate Reservoir that Providence Water gets from. Would you believe that they, years ago, I can't give you the description because I'm only a carpenter, but they took towns away, moved people out to build that water shed so that the Providence people could have it. And guess what? Over 60% of Rhode Island gets the water from that. This thing here is going to go pollution into that as well. It's under 31 miles there. I mean, this here has got no brainers. The other thing is about this water we're talking about. When they didn't build that plant in 1988, they let this plant come back because of this board, and they went up to Sherman Farm Road and they let this plant that couldn't do it in 86 in 88. And they built it up there. But they made them put in a water line and an oil pipeline. So it's not over the highway. Well, guess what? Over the years, the Blackstone River, you have to hear of that, right? Blackstone River gets too low and they can't get the water. So what do? They trail the water. Luckily for them, it goes dry at the end of summer, but by wintertime, the water comes up in the Blackstone River. So they don't carry it. But this water here is in your state, in ours, and it's going to come through there all winter long when they use oil in the wintertime, which they have to use because gas is #1 for houses. That's why they got to use the oil more in the wintertime than they do this summer. And when they use oil, they're going to use a lot more water. If you could ever see that road. Now, I didn't tell you about this yet. Where they ran dry with water, they bought up a cement company and built a pond. And these trucks go in and out of there when they need water every 5 minutes. 2 trucks go in, 2 trucks come out. And if you ever saw that road, it is sopping wet from one end to the other. If they ever let you guys do that water from here, your roads are going to, in the middle of the winter time now, when we're talking about freezing weather, Can you imagine? There is no common sense with this at all. I don't know where DET rather, in Rhode Island is on this. We've had so many people that should be speaking up loud and clear about this. It just doesn't make sense. I'll give you one other example if I can.
Take your time.
I have the rights to open the dam on Wilson's Reservoir. And that big river comes down from Wallum Lake. And I have the rights to go up there and open that up. Now this beautiful, beautiful hospital up there has all the handicapped people you can imagine. Now just imagine this, I'm up there one day, this is about 3 or 4 years ago, go to the dam and I'm gonna open up the dam. Now up around that hospital, there's loads of buildings, all tar road, and what do you think? Here comes a fella in a wheelchair, and the only thing he's got is a thing in his mouth. And he comes down there and just watches me. I wave to him and he gives me a little blink like that, and he watches me open the gate up. This here is going to ruin their lives up there. The pollution they're going to put in. What a perfect place for people that's handicapped like that. If there's anything in your power that you could do to help us out on this, we would really appreciate it. And boy, I'll tell you, thank you for letting us talk. You can see these people ahead of me a lot smarter than I am. I only got a little common sense. That's why he couldn't tell what I was writing up there, because I don't write neither. Thank you very much.
Thank
Any
you, sir.
questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next individual is Deborah Hackney, 265.
Can I say one other thing, please? Sure. I knew nothing about this sign here. Nothing, until I got here. I grabbed the sign from the person there. You people have got the power in your hands to take care of all these people here, and if they don't want it, boy, you guys have got to stand up for them and do everything you can. I mean, you are people taking care of us. Our town councils have to speak up for us, so take that into consideration.
Thank you. Deborah has the folks, please.